Good morning.
Good morning. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Uh,
Sorry, I
So,
could not done anything today. Like yesterday, I closed the laptop again
no,
and
no, no, no problem. You take your time. Okay, so what I will do at any moment, actually after this completion of the 10 to 11 session, I think I'll be able to complete around another, actually today is our sixth session. Around 10th or 11th session, I'll be able to complete everything. Then I'll be giving enough time to do. And you take whenever required, you just let me know if you're facing any issue, challenges, and I'm open for that. Last
okay.
last two
Yeah,
to
and
three
again,
sessions.
like tomorrow, I will transfer the imbalance amount. Okay, I forgot it.
No worries about that.
I just forgot it today.
Yeah, yeah.
After that,
So
yesterday. Okay.
no worries. So how is the
Okay.
weather there now?
Weather is very good.
Enjoying, you're enjoying. It is.
No, it's not. I mean, it's like it's a snow place, right? This is
Ha. Yeah.
so from May to October, it will
Hmm.
be like summer.
Hmm.
It will be very good. Like people will be roaming around swimming
Hmm.
pool, all other stuff. Again,
Okay.
from
Okay.
November to December, no, I mean November to March, May, April, no one will go out.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
best time. So it is a good time. Uh,
Uh, so today I'll be moving to the topic called content. Okay. So for any LMS, content is the key. Okay. They call content is king also. So
okay, I'm
without
just
content, we can't have any.
I'm just want requesting
Yeah, yeah.
recording.
Sorry. I forgot. Mm, allow recording. Huh. So today we will be. You're able to record, right? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm able to record it. Yes.
Okay. So today we will be focusing on the content parts. As we know, content is the king. They say for any kind of LMS. So without content, your system is dry. So we can compare it to like any cable connection. So suppose you are having a TV setup, but you don't have any cable connections, or like any other vendor who is providing cable connections, then you will be watching the normal basic channels and all. So you don't have any. But if you are taking off the cable connection, and you'll be getting some 500 plus channels, and you have a subscription fee for that. Okay. Similarly, in SuccessFactors LMS also, we have something called content here. So if you see the admin part, there is a dedicated folder for content. Okay. So earlier we have seen like how to create an online item. So I'll be just giving a correlations. Okay. Suppose I'm creating a new online item which we have already seen earlier. I will say online settings. I'll choose has online content, and I will filter which are the content which is having item which is having online content. Okay. So there are around 1200 items here which is having online content. Okay. So the online content, it may be a document, it can be a video, okay, it can be PDF document which you have to just confirm that yes, I have completed, or it can be quizzes. Okay. So I'll just giving a overview where the content is actually you have already seen, but again I'll be going deep into that, and later we will be coming on to content part. Okay. So if
Okay.
you have seen in this annual product review, this is actually an item which is a classification online item. Okay, type 2. Okay. So in this you have content, online content. If you see, there are two online content here, and that is the ESOP, some revision content, and second one is the annual product review. Okay. So here it is showing available for lunch. As you have seen earlier, this is actually if it is green, then it will be available for lunch to the employees. Okay. So how to add any content here? So you have to just click this plus button here. Okay. After clicking this plus button, you will be having all these options. Okay. Adding an assessment, adding a content package, content object. So here actually we are adding like which we have already created, adding a content object, adding a content package, adding an exam object, and adding an assessment, adding a folder. So today we will be seeing how to create all of these things: content object, exam object, or assessment. Okay. Assessment, online exam also, these are called as a content. Okay. Online exam content, online assessment content. So most of the times what happens, suppose if you are most people purchase this content from outside. Suppose if you are if the organization size is very small and you don't have any dedicated specialist for who will be creating this content, then generally people buy from outside and they host that content in our success factor LMS, and that is stored in the iContent. iContent is basically the server where the content are stored, okay, for any success factor LMS, and that is having a capacity of 25 GB. Okay, 25 GB combining both your test environment as well as a production environment. So we recommend not to you means use the T1 system much because it will affect your storage capacity. Okay, so just put for testing one or two content here in the T1 or test environment and put your maximum content in the production server, production I content. Okay. So that is the concept of I content. And second one is actually suppose many of the large organization 25 GB is very small. Okay. So they have two options now for organizations to go beyond 25 GB. So there is something called online premium content management. So in that case, they apply to SAP that they want to take more space. Suppose they were
Oh,
have a
now they're giving only 25 GB?
yes, yes. They give only 25 GB. That is along with the license. Means whatever the license you are purchasing. So along with the 25 GB, they are giving 20 means for combiningly both your test environment and production environment. But if you want to increase, they will be asking for additional fees for that. Okay, additional subscription fees on yearly basis you have to pay to SAP. But there is another option also. SAP also says there is another option. There is something called you can host your content in your content server. Suppose the client is having its own storage content channels now, like you are having your suppose your SharePoint or OneDrive or Google Drive. Suppose if you are having and you are already paying for those content storage device in cloud storage device, then you don't have to buy this iContent on an additional charges. Okay, so what you can do, you can store your content in there like SharePoint, SharePoint, your Google Drive or OneDrive anywhere. Just you give the link to the SuccessFactors LMS. Okay, so whenever you are hosting any content outside iContent, you just give the URL. Means that URL you can give into our item. Okay, so where it is given, I'll just show you that. Okay, so after giving that, then whenever you are accessing any learning item for any of this online content, directly it will navigate to the your SharePoint access. Suppose you are storing the content in the SharePoint. So there are two way of doing. One is you can subscribe to additional storage to iContent. Otherwise, you can host in your domain server, in your domain server. Then you just share that URL to your online content management. Okay. So there are two ways of doing that. So we will discussing now more details. So this is a place actually where we use or utilize all this content, all the online item content like content object, content package. Okay, so we'll go more detail into the content part. So if I say go to the content part, we have a lot of options here: content object, content package, question library, assessment, objectives, questions, tools, documents, deployment locations. Okay. So first we will be starting with the deployment locations. Okay. So what is the deployment locations? So where you are going to deploy your all the learning content. Okay. So here
Okay,
you can
you click the content and going, okay.
yes, actually I'm going from bottom. Okay. So that you will be able to relate it. If I'm start, okay, I could have started with content object, content package also, but that is again it is little difficult to follow that. So I'll be following a sequence.
Okay.
So first deployment location. So whenever you are hosting any content, first point comes to your mind in during your implementation, where I am going to store my content. Okay. So here what I have done, the client is storing all this. They have their dedicated I content. Okay. So they can go to this icon. They have already created it. So how to create? If you are implementing for the first time, you will not be getting this from scratch. Okay. So they will be having there this summary. Like you can give your I content type and your give your description. Okay. And username, password. This will be given by actually SAP. Okay. So whenever you are getting your licenses, along with that, you will be getting host name, or like your what is the port ID, and your username, password you can give, and similarly URL prefix, everything will be given by SAP. Huh. Just you have to copy paste here in the deployment location, and the location is basically the SFTP. Okay. So SFTP, as you must be knowing, so whenever you are getting any kind of content, the I content actually is in SFTP only. So for an SFTP actually that is stored the I content, then we call that content address. So URL, if you see, this URL will be navigated to the that particular SFTP. So this URL is provided by SAP, and here you can give this contact email, comment, display order. So here you can maintain your contact email so that whenever any new content is deployed, you'll be getting notifications that yes, Madan, you have created a new content. So this is your update that this content is successfully deployed in the iContent server. Okay, so that is the reason you can give your contact email here. So this is regarding your deployment location. Otherwise, if you are deploying the iContent in a say new one or any other server, you can give your new location also. Suppose you are creating a new content here, then you can give the new deployment location ID, description, host. Suppose you are doing from SharePoint, then they will be giving their port ID and host name. You will be
What
getting
is iContent? What is iContent deployment means?
iContent, as I have told you. So iContent is basically the cloud storage
25 GB.
type.
Okay.
Okay, where we store all the online content. Okay, so it
Okay.
can be in video, it can be a document, or it can be a quizzes, online quizzes. All those files are actually stored, get stored there, and we call those items from the iContent whenever you are accessing. Suppose you are accessing a online quiz. Okay, so it will be stored in the iContent. Okay, suppose you are watching an MP4 player video which is stored in your iContent. You can access that learning program from your LMS, okay, by hosting the content in the iContent. You can think of it as a kind of a storage device. It is deployed by SAP, and they give 25 GB maximum capacity in the standard licensing, and you can increase that if you need more. You can contact. There is a premium content management team, so they charge additional for the additional store. If you want to increase the capacity, increase the storage capacity, then you can give that with an additional fees. You can go for that.
Okay.
So this is regarding your deployment locations. Then I'll be coming to the tools part. So here, how to upload a content or import a content. This is the option here. So there is in the tools section, we have something called import content. Okay. So this is the easiest way to import any content. So whenever you are clicking an import content, you'll be getting four options. Either you can add new content. Second option is add content of an existing item. So that is meaning of means we are revising any content. Suppose you are now in 2019, you have a specific content for a particular online item, but after 2 years, suppose in 2021, you want to update that new content with a new content. Okay. So in that case, you will be using the second option, like add content for an existing item. So similarly, third one is replace content. Suppose along with means you want to completely get rid of all the old content, you are just going to replace with a new one. What is the difference between second and third? Second option is, suppose with the existing content you want to add some additional content. Okay, suppose you have 3 chapters in the earlier
Okay.
edition. You want to add a new chapter, say fourth chapter in that, and you want to add a new video or quizzes for that, then you will be using the second option. Third option is actually for the replacing. Suppose your existing some content is there, so you want to completely get rid of that, and you want to add a new content for that particular online item, then you will be using this third option, that is your replace content for an existing item. Okay. So fourth option is basically enable mobile content. Enable mobile or offline content for an existing item. Suppose you want to enable the content for a mobile device also. Suppose you are accessing SuccessFactors LMS in a mobile device. Then if you are want to enable that for mobile, but it is already available for web, but it is not available for mobile, then you can utilize this functionality. You can choose this action to enable it for offline or the mobile application. Hmm.
Okay.
So now I'll be showing you how to add a new content. Okay. So then I will be showing you how to go for that. Huh. So in the second step, you will be getting all these options like select files that you would like to import as a content. Any SCORM or AICC files must be in a .zip format. So SCORM and AICC, these are actually the global standard. Okay. So global standard of any learning content. Okay. So SCORM full form actually the Shareable Content Object Reference Model. Okay, Shareable Content Object Reference Model. You can Google it also. So this is actually one of the global standard. Whenever you are creating any content, it should be in this format. Okay, and ideally, most of the content vendor, okay, from whom actually you are purchasing the content, they comply with these two standards, either SCORM or AICC. Hmm. So they follow this standard. You don't have to worry about. So they will be giving in that particular .zip format. Okay. So in that zip format, whatever the content you will be having, that format you can browse it from here. Okay, and you will be deploying it. And also, SuccessFactors LMS iContent supports all other format also, other than zip. It supports all this format. You can see it here. It supports a PDF, document, docx, RTF, HTML, XLS, PPT, PPTX. So all these formats SuccessFactors LMS supports it.
Okay.
So I'll be showing it is a simple step. It's kind of just an upload. Okay. So if I have something in my system, so I'll be just uploading that.
Just for information,
Yeah.
then it is supporting HTML, right? Why then Flash to HTML we are doing? Like in 2020, the SCPS plan, right?
Actually, the problem with this, there is some contract of Adobe. This Flash, na? Flash is actually the product of Adobe. So they are actually discontinuing with some license with SAP SuccessFactors. So they are doing away with Adobe. This is a kind of a contract or license things. So for that reason, actually they are going to for HTML, and also sometimes it is the performance issues. The SAP is one of the blog which I have read long back. So they are telling they have some internal issues, and for performance issues also. So for that reason, they are moving ahead with HTML. And from a development point of view, also it is easy to go for HTML compared to this class. So there are multiple regions. So these are the two regions actually they are going for HTML. It will be more development and user friendly compared to, and also it is no browser issue also. At present, if you see, I have opened these things in the Internet Explorer, but sometimes I face issue in other browsers like Mozilla, Firefox, and other Opera. So all other browsers, it is a little bit problem I have. Okay. But in Chrome and Internet Explorer, it is working fine. Hmm. So there are some several reasons, but they actually it's good actually they are moving to HTML. Adobe
Okay.
Flash Player actually also they are deprecating something there, decommissioning some things. I'm not sure what exactly they are doing in the Flash side, but I have read somewhere in the blog that completely it will be moving to the HTML part.
Okay.
So what I will be doing now, so I will be adding an object which is a content object, or I'll be some sample file I'll be uploading. So this is my second step. Second step, I have upload the content file. So it will be on the specific format. So I've uploaded a PDF format here. So after doing this, in the third step, it will ask configure content and item settings. Okay. So here you will be getting options like deploy content to server. Means you will be able to, if you are taking it, this content will be stored in your uploaded into the server. Okay. So then it will be asking the server location. So in the so whatever that you have seen in the deployment locations, that fields will be coming here. Okay. So if I could have shown to the, this one is the past, we could have asked like where this server location is configured and all. So for that reason, I have shown how to create the deployment location first point. Okay, now I move to the deployment content, import content part. Okay. So in the server location, you'll be getting two options, iContent or the Zemba quiz objects. Otherwise, you can create your Microsoft means your SharePoint. If you've created any server to that, then you can also call that server here. So I'm just adding this iContent server. Hmm. And which domain it will be required. So you can give say public domain. Hmm. So content package ID, you can give a meaningful name. So whatever the content you are going to uploading, say I have uploaded from talent management. So next is these are the three options you have. Mobile access. Suppose you want this content to be visible in the mobile or not. Whether the employee can download it in their device offline or not. So that option you can take it here. And third one is use AICC wrapper. Apply AICC wrapper to any non-AICC or SCORM content. So this PDF document which I'm going to upload. This is actually a non-AICC or non-SCORM compliant content. Okay. So to make it compliant, so what SAP has done, they have actually they are actually if you are ticking it, they will be actually giving a wrapper on that. Okay. So if you're uploading in a PDF document, SAP SuccessFactors team, they will be creating a wrapper on top of that, so that it will be considered as an AICC file. Okay. That is the reason whenever you are uploading any non-SCORM compliant or non-AICC file, you always tick this options. Okay. So using this, so that the item will be, you will be able to track that. So now I have applied iContent and all the settings I have done. Now here there is an option, you can on the go you can create a new learning item. Okay. So at present I have not created any specific learning item of type online content for this course, for this content. So I can here also I can create a item here. Okay, directly. Otherwise you can skip these steps. Okay, later on you can go and create an online item. Then you have to just call this content package ID like chroma underscore tm. You can call this item later on. But here also
So
you are getting.
if you not apply AICC wrapper,
uh,
what will happen?
if you're not applying, it will not be, you will not be able to track that. Means after your completion you will not be able to track. Okay. So in
Okay.
SuccessFactors LMS, everything is can be tracked by using this AICC wrapper. Okay. So after you complete a particular document, so system will not capture that yes you have completed or not. That kind of things you will not be getting in the whenever you're accessing as a learner. So it is always best practices, and also it is recommended to use this tick option, apply AICC wrapper to any non-AICC or SCORM content. Suppose if you are using any SCORM based content, you don't need this. Okay, that will be in a .zip format, so you don't need to do that. So now I'm going to create a new item on this. So create a new learning item. So for each content package. So this is my content package. That is a chroma underscore T talent management or TM. Okay. So now I'm going to create an item directly from here. So it is basically an online content. I'll choose online. Item ID, say I'll be giving item ID chroma. Chroma underscore TM. So today, by default, it will take your today's date as a revision date.
Okay.
So in the item title, you can give a meaningful name for that. Say Chroma Talent Management. Assignment type, you can mention that whether it is an optional or required or recommended. Revision time, it will be taking the server timing. Actually, my server, this one is actually from a different time zone, so it will take that timing, 1:15 a.m. So next one is the domain. You can specify whether it will be public domain or any specific domain that you can mention it here. Hmm. Then the basic settings, like your content is available for launch, available for users. Okay. So why it is required? If you want, suppose after 3 months you are doing some revision to your content. At that point of time, you don't want to see people, all the learners, they should not have access. So you can untick that. Okay. So you then do some revision, then you then again tick it. Okay. So for that reason, we have kept this option settings like content is available for launch. Then next is mark non-AICC content object is complete when launched. So this, if you are taking this, as soon as uh, your content is launched, it will be tracked. You start recording, means that it will be tracked that you have already completed as soon as you launch. So third option is actually record learning event when all the content is complete. So if you are ticking this box, so suppose you are uploaded a video and it is AICC scrum based. Unless and until you have seen the entire video, the learning will not be completed. Okay. So this is a setting where you can do that. Fourth option is keep content structure page and launch. Okay. So content structure is basically the all the metadata file. Okay. It's similar to the index of a book. Okay. So if you want to skip that structure, then you have to choose these options. Okay. It is also ideally for the all the scom content provided by the vendor. Okay. So you can choose this option so that you skip that introduction phase. So next one is the related to AICC or COM settings. So this is required. Suppose you have already having these AICC files. Okay, so then you have to choose this record learning event when last content object is passed. So what happens? Content object actually is you can think of it as a topic. Okay, suppose here I am using a content package here which is having 10 topics. So all these 10 topics can be my content objects. Okay, and content package is basically it's a storage of all the it's a combination of multiple content objects. So you can think of one chapter, there is one chapter, there is one assignment, assessment, one quizzes. So all these independent entities are called content objects. When you combine all those content objects, that we call it as a content package. So at present, I am showing a non-SCOM compliant, so we will not be able to relate it. So after completing this, I'll be showing the content package so that you'll be able to see how the content package which you purchase from a vendor, it will look like. That we will be seeing in the content package and content objects that.
Okay.
So now for the time being, I'm just explaining the settings. Okay. So how if you are uploading any SCOM based or AICC based content, whenever you are ticking this, like record learning event when last content object is passed. Okay. In that case also it will record. Means so suppose in that content object, content package, there is a 2 hours video or 1 hour video, and to complete that content you must uh, suppose you have settings like you must complete at least 80% or 75%. Okay. So in that case you will be choosing these options. Okay. Similarly, second one, record learning event when last content object is failed. Suppose if you are giving credit, like whether you pass or fail, it doesn't matter. If you have gone through the content, then system will allow you to record the learning. So depending upon your business scenario, you can set up this setting. And last one is actually the allow review of AICC content from the learning history. So some of the organization, what they do, so after completion of the training, they don't give a review. Means if they if you don't want to review that again, so that you can control it from here. If you are allowing review, means so after completion of the training program, also you can access that learning content once again. If you go to the learning history, then you can access that learning content once again if you want to go through. So depending upon your scenario, you can do all these settings from here. Any questions you have?
Uh, I mean, like ANCC Chrome settings,
Hmm.
might be seen the difference, right? So you are record learning event when content object is passed.
Hmm.
So say for example, I don't know how it will be in actual scenarios.
Okay, so I'll be showing you and that no need to worry whenever we'll be doing that hands-on. So that I'll be capturing means how it will be look like. I'll be showing a scenario for that. Hmm. So next one is actually I don't
Do
have
you
a
have any scenario like currently can okay, we need to finish the content, right? Okay.
Actually, I don't have a AICC file here now in my system. Otherwise, I could have shown that. So basically, for AICC SCORM content, actually, if you're having in my old project, they had uploaded AICC SCORM. So after this session, whenever I'll be going through that, I'll be showing you means where the content is stored and those things. Actually, this is actually the T1 system of one of my friends. So he's not having those some content in this package. Okay, so for that reason you'll not be seeing here, but I'll be showing you means otherwise I'll be giving a screenshot and how it is stored. Okay, that actually I have to open the SFTP as well because SFTP is not this user, this friend is not having this SFTP access, so that is actually sensitive to the client information. So again I'll be showing that in another session. Okay, whenever we'll be discussing later on, that I'll be showing there. I have actually noted this down. So what are the things I have to show during the entire project end-to-end cycle? During that time, I'll be showing you this. These are the things. Okay.
Okay.
So next one is the completion status. So these are the completion status like if you are giving a credit or if you are giving a substitute that which you already configured in the reference section that you can mention it here. Suppose you are giving a credit is a for credit program and failure status. Suppose if you are failing in a money, if it is a not for credit, then you can mention those. Say it is if you are failing, then retraining is required. Okay. So once you have chosen a retraining required, this failure action came. Another pop-up will come. Okay. So another drop down. So here again you have to choose like after completion of the training program, if you are failing, then automatically the whether this learning item will be locked or it will be removed from your learning prompt so that the admin can go and assign it once again. So these options you can choose whatever the options you require. That option you can choose here. Okay. So last one is times user can fail before actions. Means how many times you can fail. Like it's a kind of attempt. Okay, suppose you are giving a 5 here. So user can take 5 attempts. Okay, like if you have, after 5 attempts, suppose you are failing, then it will be locked. Okay, means again you have to ask your admin. So this is the option you can use for times you can fail before an action. Okay. So next one is your catalog and subject area and test user learning plus. So actually we don't recommend to use this catalog and subject area because as though options are there. Okay. We don't do directly from here. After creating the item, you can go to the item and you attach those catalog and subject area. Why I am saying this? Because I faced challenges and issues, operational issues whenever while uploading this content there is some operational or performance issues. Okay, so SAP doesn't say anywhere in the implementation guide, but when you do an expert chart with them or you are going through any these kind of issues, they will be recommend that though in the product these options are there, you don't use this. Up to this only you do. Like times can user can fail before action. Okay, after doing this, you just skip it. Like catalog and subject area. Later on, you can go to the individual item and you can attach those catalog ID and subject area ID, not from here. Those these options are here. Okay. So after filling all these settings and not related to the my AI my content, what I will do now, I will doing this import files. Okay. Means that file is already there in my I've already covered that. So now it will show the import summary. The validation means system will SuccessFactors LMS, it will do a validation whatever the content you are going to upload. Okay, so then it will convert that into a zip file. Okay, so it will say the status is a success, means that your file, the PDF file which you have uploaded, that is now converted to a SCORM compliant file that is in a zip format. Okay, and if you want to see that content once again, you can go to this edit content object ID here. So if I go to the content object ID, I can see the content object ID here. Like see, so content object ID is created Chroma Talent Management. Title is Chroma Talent Management, and the
I
URL is
think it
automatic.
stopped. I think now.
Sorry,
I think the screen is checked.
you're not able to see my screen.
No, I'm able to. Like after you click the edit content object ID.
Hmm. One pop-up came actually. This pop-up we are not able to see.
Yeah, now pop-up is not.
Huh. Now you can see it.
No, no,
Okay, let me do it once again.
no pop-up is there. Okay.
Pop-up we are not able to see. It's surprising. Just a minute.
But I'm seeing like you clicked the second time, but no pop-up is there.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. I think the screen share actually, whatever share, actually is limited to the. Let me show you this once again. Okay, now you can see. Just a minute. Just let me know you can see it.
Yeah, yeah, yes, I'm.
Okay, okay. Actually, it is having with the sharing. In the sharing, actually, if a new pop-up came, so I have to share it once again in a new tab. All tab I have to do, and I have to show that. Okay. Now you
Oh,
can
okay.
see it, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm able to.
Okay. So in this pop-up, you can see there is a launch URL which is automatically generated by SuccessFactors. Okay. Means where the content is going to be stored in the iContent, system will generate a specific URL for that. Okay. So it will be looking like learning underscore user underscore online access plus iContent do question mark. Then your entire this thing PDF document where it is going to be stored, that launch URL is automatically generated by the system. You don't have to create that URL. So this is the way you have to upload, you have to import existing content in your system. Now I'll be doing the apply changes here. Now there is an option called schedule job. Okay. So schedule job means actually this content is going to be store means really upload. It is already uploaded. Now it will be assigning this to automatically. So run this job immediately. There is an option here. Okay. And second one is schedule this job. Suppose you want in the future if you want it. Okay. Then you can give that option. So I'm now running this job immediately.
So what this job will do?
So by this actually it will be uploading the content perfectly. Means once we have already uploaded the content, but it will be doing another level of means validation that yes, this is second level of validation, and the you will be storing that in the deployment or the storage location permanently.
So where can I find this job status?
So I will be coming where the job status. So you can see there is an option called status. Content import is successful. As it
Okay.
was a single item, so it was telling the content import is successful immediately. Otherwise, if it is a huge item, then it will show that it is 20% complete, 30% complete. So in that case, you will be able to see that if it is a huge item. As it is a small item, you can see the content import is successful. Okay. Otherwise, you can see these options like background job. Also, there is an option here to see in the if you go to system admin, then in the background jobs also you can see it. Okay, so there are multiple options: scheduled, executing, succeeded, failed. So if I'm showing succeeded, okay, so you can see the entity export. Actually it will be in the same, it will not be in the same name. You can go and see the background jobs and access it from here. Okay, all the background jobs. If it is failed, you can do an filter on the failed items and you can search that item here. Okay. So at present there is no failure item, so it is showing blank.
Where is our job?
So our job, just a minute, I will showing you. Actually, they have done some other settings. Let me show you.
Submitted on date, you can check.
I'll just put the filter. Just a minute.
9th June, right? Today.
Just a minute, actually, I'm just checking it. I think some authorization they have done it. I don't know. I'm not sure, but actually it will be coming here only. Mm, okay. Let me remove the user. Okay, I will check the settings. So later on, I will show you. Actually, it will be coming here only, ideally. All the background jobs you can see here. Okay. So why it is not coming? Actually, I'm not sure because this his system, what he has done the settings. Okay, but it will be coming there only. All the content, whatever you are going to deploy, that deploy will be happening from there, and you can go to from there.
Okay.
Okay. So no need to worry about it. So next, I'll be coming to the main the topic that is which you have already known, content objects, and what is a content object and what is a content package. Okay. So content objects is actually individual line items for any of the content. Okay. So if you see, there are so many line items or
So
object
from
items.
there, like from top to exam object, you will be coming now. Is it like now you went from deployment location to tools?
Huh. Actually, after deployment location, I covered import content and how to upload a content and how to assign and
Correct.
yes, specific item I have shown you. Just one thing, I just to complete the cycle, I will be showing the item as well, so that it will be you will be able to visualize. So the chroma underscore tm. If I search this item, now you can see it is showing online chroma underscore tm. I have already created, that is your chroma talent management. Okay, so this is my online item. So here you can see automatically it is showing available for lunch. So this Chroma talent management is already available for you. Okay. So here you can see only few details you have to fill it up, like content type you can mention, whether it is a it's a policy document or instruction document, whatever you require, that you can mention. So in catalog, okay. So in catalog means actually it will be displayed in the catalog. So you have to just add a catalog here. So what I have done a bottom up approach. Like instead of creating an online item, then adding a online content to it, I went in a reverse way. Like first I deployed the content into the server, I content, then I created the online item immediately there itself. So then automatically this is visible in my learning options. Okay. So also otherwise also what you can do, you can upload the content only, then you can come and create this online item. So both way you can do it. Suppose you are planning, you have not chosen the what should be the item id and what should be, you have not decided yet, you just deploy the content after 10 days or 15 days discussing with your peer, then you can come back and you can create this online item. So there are multiple options of doing this. As per your convenience you can do that. Now I'm adding this online content to a catalog. Okay, so I'll be uploading this to a catalog. So I'll be searching for a catalog, and I'll be say I am not sure which catalog this user is having into access. So I'll be suppose to all catalog I'm publishing it. Okay, so all the people they can access it. So I've deployed it to a this catalog. Now I'll be adding a subject area on which subject area, that is the topics, on that which topics it will go. Suppose say it will go through an first one, hell topic say 000, and suppose it is a technology related topic, I'll be choosing a technology. Then I'll be assigning it to users. So here also you will be getting a kind of assignment also, it's a background job. If you want to run the job now, it will be automatically assigned. Successfully this item is assigned to the user. So now I will be logging in as a user and I will see how this content will be looking like. I'll go to the learning. So here you can see this Chroma talent management is already in my place, due within a week. Okay. So this, sorry, 9th June 2019, it has been assigned. Okay. Instead of this, I can also, if it is not directly
Sorry,
assigned, can you
sorry,
see?
I didn't follow up. Like it's the screen stuck. Like, can you do? I mean, from the item you went on the content, right?
Yes, actually,
And
I've
from that,
already assigned the content. Now I'm
yeah, how
missing.
did you launch that? Like, can you please show me again, please?
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm sorry. Like,
No problem, no
it's stuck.
problem.
Screen was a little.
So what I did, I went to the learning administration. Now you can see it, right?
Yeah, I'm able to see it. Last time I have to seen, but some pop-up came.
Ha, ha,
Yeah, it
ha.
like some flash came and it didn't show up the page.
Okay, okay, okay. So what I did, I have already created that particular item. I'm just going to, it's a kind of item assignment. So you must,
Right.
there are,
Okay.
it's one of the item assignment only. So what I have done, I have added it to a catalog, then I have added it to the subject area. Okay. Then I have assigned to this a particular user. Okay. So if you see, um, so this is the page where I went. Let's say I'll be assigning to another user. Okay. I went, okay, pop-up you are not able to see, right? Okay, I have to be careful for that. Okay.
No, it is coming now. Assign user needs arrangement. Yeah.
Uh, so this you can see, right? User needs management now.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is actually the step-by-step process and user need management tool. It's one of your assignments. So I have already said. So here you can see the user, means to which user you are going to assign. Suppose say I'm going to assign to a specific user. I have to choose to 5 to 6 user. I'm just ticking it. Okay. I'll specify those users and I will just click add. Okay. So now you can see Adamson, Alex, Simon, Akash, all these users are actually going to be assigned to this particular course. Hmm. So next is the step 3. Step 3, can you see?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the step 3 where actually we're adding the items. Means you have seen that online Chroma, that is a Chroma talent management, where this is the assignment date, 9th of June 2019. Okay. So this item we have chosen for those specific 4 users which we have seen earlier. This item is going to be assigned to all these 4 users. So next we'll be going to the next step. So here I can see edit item information. So at this level also, if you want to edit something, the assignment type, okay, if it is required or recommended and all, and the assignment date, okay, that also you can see it here. Okay, so after confirming it, then you can go to the next option, editing the item information. Then finally you'll be getting a screen like this, complete user needs management. So you can see both this, what are the users ID and who are the person who is going to become, who will be completing this training program, and also the item ID, you can see it. And here you can see there are 2 dates. No need to confuse me about these 2 dates. One is the assignment date. Assignment date is the date when we are going to assign this training program. Okay. So there is another date, that is your required date. Required date means when the user must complete this training program. Okay. So you are giving a target to them that, boss, you have to complete this training program within next say 24th of June. By this you have to complete it. Okay. Otherwise it will be shown as a overdue. System will not push anything. System will say that this item is overdue. If you are in 25th of June, the system will say this item is overdue for Alex, Adelaide, Simon, Akash. So all these will be overdue for them. So this is the purpose of this required date. Then I'll be just running this job now. Then you can see successfully added the items to the specified user. Okay, so this is the process you need to follow for assigning any learning item. Clear, right? Any questions?
Yep, yes,
Okay,
no question.
okay. So now once again I'll be going to the learning, how it will be visible as a front end. So I'll be going to the my learning option, learning title. As it
You
is
can
all,
click that icon also that way, right?
sorry.
No, you can click the icon also, right? That learning.
There are 2 ways. You can go
Right.
check the drop down, otherwise you can check the icon also. Okay. So there are 2 ways of doing. Now what I have done, this Chroma Talent Management, this course is already assigned to me. Okay. So this user, otherwise if you are not assigning, if you are putting this into the catalog only, so then I have to go to the catalog, like this find learning I have to go. Then what are the subject area or the topics on which this item is there? There I have to search and I have to find out that particular learning item. Okay. So I have kept it under
like our SAP Learning Hub content.
exactly. So front end you don't need to worry about. So in the same learning hub, it's the same learning hub only. Okay. So I have put it under, I think, technology. Okay, so there are so many items. I have to search here directly. Okay, so now you can see automatically this Chroma Talent Management, this course is automatically means after on this particular topics. So I have chosen this leadership. I kept it for leader, means sorry, in the technical part. So under that technical part, I filtered it out. Okay, so it is showing already assigned. Okay, so if it is showing already assignment, so no need to worry about it. You can directly go and start there. Okay, and also you can see the item is a free item, so you don't have to pay anything to the anyone. And the item ID you can see it's the chroma underscore tm, and the item type is actually online. Okay, so if I click more, I can go there, retail. Then you can see the online say Chroma Talent Management. Okay, already assigned. If I'm going to start course, okay, I will just click the start course option here. So it is similar to your learning hub only. You have to just click this Chroma Talent Management. I think either again you might be having this option. So I have to just show the screen. Can you see the document also?
Yeah, I am able to.
Okay. So this is one of the document which I've uploaded. Okay, the Chroma Talent Management Platform Solution. It is a simple document. Okay. So what I was telling, what is the meaning of that AICC wrapper? In the bottom section, you can see by selecting agree button, I acknowledge that I have read, understand. This is actually called your wrapper. Okay. This is your AICC wrapper. which the PDF document we have attached. Okay. So once you click this agree, disagree button, so depending on that, your learning will be tracked. System will understand if you are choosing this agree option, then you're recorded. This your completion criteria will be fulfilled. Okay. So this PDF document also you can take a printout of it. You can save it in your system. Okay. You can zoom it and zoom in and zoom out. Okay. So entire document you can go through and you can mark your completion. In the top section, you can see there is an URL. So in the online access class AICC wrapper. Okay. So AICC wrapper wrapper.jsp. Okay. So this is the meaning of AICC wrapper. Suppose if you are somebody is asking what is an AICC wrapper. So for all the non-SCUM compliant or non-AICC supported files, you can attach a AICC wrapper on that. Okay. So then you will be getting a confirmation or a consent statement like this agreement. Okay. So by selecting agree option, I know acknowledge. You are just giving an acknowledgement to the system that yes, I have already gone through the entire content, and I'm just agreeing that I have already completed it. Okay. So if I click agree, system will give a tick box. Okay, so this will say that yes, you have already completed. Whether you, but system will not track whether really you have completed or not. It will not track, but it will. You have to just give a confirmation. Okay, so this is the way we have seen the entire end-to-end scenario for an online content deployment, starting from deployment to assignment to the particular catalog, then accessing by any user. Then when user actually gets this access and the completion of this. Okay. So in the Learning Hub, we have seen the front end part only, but how it works in the back end, I have shown it to you. So this is the how an online content you have to see for an online content scenario that we have seen. Then next, also you can see the same in the your learning history. As soon as you complete, okay, that you can see it here. Learning history. I think it is not uploaded. Okay. I think they had some restriction. They also here, but here you'll be able to see the entire. As soon as you complete, that same thing will be appear in your learning history.
Okay,
Similarly,
how they do the restriction? Like from where they do the restriction?
actually, they have done in the some workflow. I'll be coming to the roles which you have seen, na, that assignment. So
Okay.
they're giving access. Like you will not be having access to the learning history. You will not be having access to the this domain. Okay, those kind of restrictions are done at the role management level, which we discuss in the second or third session. So in that we have seen that. Okay, so there actually they control all these things in the access part. So next I'll be just little bit give a summary of it. So today you understood, right? From actually today I was able to show because it is a simple thing. So I was able to show
I'm
you
able to.
from the
I
end to end.
thought,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought content is a major one. I mean,
Yeah.
content is the major one, and item is subordinate to that. But here it reverse.
No,
Like,
nothing like that.
item
Actually,
is,
both are independent. You have to just link them out. Okay, so
right.
content actually independent, item is also independent. You just marry those two things. Okay, so without content, item is nothing. Okay, for especially for the online things. Okay, so here also we have seen the content objects. Content objects basically these are coming from your ERC random ID, right? So these are actually directly coming from the vendor system. Okay, so vendor they have uploaded some content. Okay, so these are the content which is active. You can see the content object is online. AICC support means whether it is an AICC support file or not. So actually it is an SCORM compliant file. I've chosen a random content. Similarly, third option is the cross domain. Cross domain is not enabled in this LMS. So cross domain, as I was telling you, this is required for all of your. Suppose you are choosing any SharePoint or OneDrive. In that case, we will be using this cross domain. So at present, for this, we are not using any cross domain. Like so, it is showing as not enabled. Suppose if you want to enable it, so that will be done in the backend system. I will be showing you where it is enabled. But from the time being, I'll be showing how you can add new option here. So here you can also add content object ID, build company, build location. What is a build company? Build location means, suppose there is a startup company which is actually responsible for maintaining your, means creating your content, and you have outsourced to that vendor or the builder. Okay, so that company name and location and his user ID, you can mention it here. And what developer tool in the market, there are so many LMS content developer tools like Moodle or any software tools are available. Okay, so what content development tool they are using, that they can mention it here. Okay,
Okay.
so these things you can maintain it here directly. Okay, actually what you can do, though suppose you are having your third party content vendor, you can give access this, only this content access, okay, to them, so that they will be deploying the content on a regular basis. Okay, so what they can do, so they will not be having access to this home page, user space, performance learning, only they will be having this access to the content, and that to this cross domain part only. Okay, so
Who is having? Who Meta?
so
The end
actually,
user?
no, not the end user, the content team. Suppose you are not in your organization, you are not building your own content, and you have outsourced it.
Mm.
Okay, so there is a company, some third. There are in the market. There are so many people who are actually responsible for creating the this learning content. Okay, so the client can give them directly to them. Okay, so that they will be preparing the content and they will be uploading, or they can share the content to the admin, they can also create it. Okay, so they'll be responsible for the creating this content object, content package. Okay, so
Okay.
after creation, actually it is again depends upon, it depends upon your client strategy. Okay, so whether they want to create all the content in house, suppose they are ready and they have the specialist people who are a specialist in creating this content and all. Okay, so they will be creating this content, they will be uploading here. And if they want to outsource it, they can outsource it also. It again said business decision. Okay, they can do it, but as a consultant, you never generally we don't create content for client. So you have to just remember, we will be actually, we will be enabling the system for them, but we will not be creating the content for them, because we are not the instructional designer, we are not into the those profile. Okay, as a success factor consultant, you don't have to create any content from scratch. Okay, generally it is a client responsibility, so you have to be very much clear about it whenever you are discussing with any LMS client. Hmm. So we don't create any content, but yes, we enable the system, we actually enable our LMS to host those content. So that is the concept of cross domain here. Next one is the launch method. So launch method is basically, so whatever the in the deployment, after deployment we have seen, that option will be coming here. Okay, the content parameter, as it is an AICC file, so you can see the AICC option is there. Okay, and in SCORM also there are multiple various edition of SCORM. Okay, SCORM 1.2, SCORM 2004, SCORM 2004, fourth edition. Okay, so while deploying any SCORM compliant content, you should ask your client that which edition is this. Okay, suppose you are your client is using SCORM 2004 fourth edition, but you have chosen in the SCORM 1.2, then that content will not run. It will not be compatible with your SuccessFactors LMS. Okay, then you have to be very specific to the vendor or the SCORM vendor to whom actually you are working with. You have to ask them which SCORM editions they are using. Then you have to choose that specific edition of the SCORM. Okay, so similarly, if you are using the content player, actually it is deprecated. We are not no longer using it. Okay. Similarly, the document type also. If you are choosing the document type, you have to choose the AICC wrapper, the file name, and this will be automatically coming from there. So no need to worry about it. So we don't recommend to for any client to use directly for using create a content object from here. Rather, we always recommend to client to go to the import tool option, because that is more easy to follow. Okay, it is a step-by-step approach. After deploying the location, you have to choose this import content always. Okay, no need to create content object, content package, because these are more technical, and there are chances of doing mistake here. Okay, so most means easiest way to do is for any importing content is directly from the tool section and import content from here. So that is all about your content object. Similarly, the content package, actually, this is for your combination of multiple content. So we say there are content package called reading blueprints. Okay, so it is having so many content package. So it is actually combination of multiple content object. Okay, so if you see any specific content package here, inside this is a summary page. Okay, here you can mention the field use, location, company name, and build date. And in the content section, you can see the your whatever the content structure here, means how the content structure will be looking like. Okay, so this actually you no need to worry about. This is actually the provided by the vendor and all. So as a consultant, you have to just check whether it is in proper place or not. Okay, so you don't have to create these things from scratch as a consultant. Okay, if it is an object type, say exam object type, then you have to go for exam. If it is a content type, you have to. Okay, so these things will be coming from here.
Okay.
Last one is the objectives. Objectives actually it is required only when you are using adaptive learning. Okay, so as I have told you, if you are passing a you are fulfilling some criteria, say learning objectives, then you can skip the first chapter. Second, you can directly go to the jump into the chapter number 3, depending upon your adapt means skill set. That you can utilize here. Okay. So that is all about your content object and content package. Okay, so this is all about for today's session. Next session we'll be discussing about how to create exams. That is also a critical part. Suppose either your client is using assessment, how to create an assessment, how to create quizzes, okay, and how to assign those quizzes to the users. Okay, and what are the different, there are also limitations in the quizzes. What are the different what are the various limitations? Okay, and how you can overcome those limitations, that I'll be discussing in details. And how to create questions, surveys, that all we'll be discussing in the next session. So also I'll be showing in the end to end. So from now onwards we'll be able to visualize from end to end, because these are actually a little bit easier to follow. Content and in assigning directly exam objects, assessment, we can directly assign to the users and you can directly see that. Okay, so what are the things will be in the next session, we'll be seeing more, covering most of the topics related to the assessment part, and the questions, questionnaire, surveys, all those things we'll be covering in the next one. Okay.
Okay.
So to summarize, we mostly covered around 70% of the content part. Okay, deployment locations, starting what is the content object, content packages. We discussed about I content. If the client is not having I contents more than 25 GB, how to go for the cross domain. Okay, how to enable it, that I'll be showing you, sharing one note for you how to do that. And towards the end of this things section I'll be showing the SFTP, because this user is not having SFTP, this client is not having SFTP. So I'll be showing how an SFTP, how, where the content is stored, what is the, those things we'll be covering later on. So this is all for today's session. You take your time today, tomorrow you will be having a break. Okay, and whatever the doubts, questions you have, just let me know.
Sure.
Any questions or any clarification?
I'm good. So how can I call you? Bihari or Nayak?
You can call me anything. Niladri. You can call it Niladri or Nayak.
Niladri. Okay. No, I don't. Because which one is for your first name? That was
first name is Niladri. Yeah.
Okay.
It is the same name. So your name is also Madan. So it's the same Krishna only.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay, Madan.
Okay, Nidhi.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Tomorrow I'm not joining. Day after tomorrow I join.
Yeah. Sure. No problem.
I will share the amount tomorrow. Like I will be.
No worries for that. Yeah.
Sorry for the delay.
No.
Yesterday when I
Yeah.
attend the class, I was noted down.
Uh,
But that's what I told you, right? After I opened my lap, yesterday again today only I opened it.
no
Totally.
problem. Take your time. So and after completion of this thing also, you can reach out to me anytime.
No, that is not a good one. I do that. Okay.
No problem. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Madan.
Thank you.
Bye.